Imagine the scene at a bustling border crossing. Customs officials, trained to spot the unusual, notice something amiss. A man, 51 years old, walks with an odd gait, his ankles bulging unnaturally. This was the reality at the U.S.-Mexico border, specifically the Otay Mesa port of entry. What they discovered next was truly shocking. Stuffed into his boots were 6 live parrots, a bizarre and cruel attempt at smuggling, hidden in plain sight. The horror didn't end there. A search of his vehicle revealed 6 more parrots. 2 of them were already dead, victims of this inhumane journey. This incident is not an isolated anomaly. It is a stark, disturbing glimpse into the dark world of wildlife trafficking. Just weeks before the Otay Mesa discovery, another alarming case unfolded. On May 4th, at the San Ysidro port of entry, a man was apprehended. His cargo included 16 live parakeets and 3 chickens. All were smuggled across the border, destined for an unknown fate. Earlier in March, near Tecate, the authorities intercepted a sedan. Inside, they found a staggering collection of 21 parrots. Even more concerning, a keel-billed toucan was also discovered. These beautiful exotic birds were crammed into a confined space. These cases highlight a disturbing trend. The illegal trade in live animals, particularly birds, is rampant and relentless. Customs and Border Protection officials are on the front lines of this battle. They witness firsthand the devastating consequences of bird smuggling. The dangers extend far beyond the individual animals. Smuggled birds pose a significant threat to native wildlife populations. They can introduce devastating diseases, such as avian flu. This could decimate wild bird populations and impact agriculture. The economic and ecological fallout from such outbreaks would be catastrophic. Our ecosystems are delicately balanced. Introducing non-native species, especially those carrying pathogens, can unravel this balance. It's a risk we cannot afford. These individual acts of cruelty are symptoms of a much larger crisis. Our planet's biodiversity is under unprecedented threat. Over the past 50 years, vertebrate wildlife populations have plummeted by an astonishing 73%. This is not just a statistic. It represents a profound loss of life, a silent extinction unfolding before our eyes. The causes are complex yet clear. Human activities are driving this decline. We are altering the very fabric of life on Earth at an alarming rate. Understanding these drivers is crucial. Only then can we hope to reverse this devastating trend. One of the primary drivers of wildlife decline is habitat loss. As human populations expand, natural spaces shrink. Forests are cleared for agriculture, urban development and infrastructure. Wetlands are drained, and grasslands are converted. Animals lose their homes, their food sources, and their breeding grounds. They are left with nowhere to go. This fragmentation of habitats isolates populations. It makes them more vulnerable to disease and genetic bottlenecks. The destruction of natural ecosystems is a direct assault on biodiversity. It is a crisis of vanishing homes. Pollution contaminates our air, water, and soil. It poisons ecosystems and the creatures that inhabit them. Chemical runoff from agriculture, industrial waste, and plastic debris all take a heavy toll. Birds ingest plastics. Marine life is entangled in discarded fishing gear. Pesticides accumulate in the food chain, impacting predators. Air pollution affects respiratory systems. Light pollution disorients migratory birds. The cumulative effect of these pollutants is devastating. They create a toxic legacy for future generations. Climate change is rapidly altering the planet's delicate balance. Rising temperatures, extreme weather events, and sea level rise are impacting wildlife. Species struggle to adapt to these rapid shifts. Migration patterns are disrupted, and breeding cycles are thrown off. Some animals cannot find suitable new habitats. Others face increased competition for dwindling resources. Coral reefs, vital marine ecosystems, are bleaching and dying. Arctic ice melts, threatening polar bears and other ice-dependent species. Climate change is a global threat, reshaping the very conditions necessary for life. Overexploitation refers to the unsustainable harvesting of wild populations. This includes overfishing, overhunting, and illegal wildlife trade. Demand for exotic pets, traditional medicines, and luxury goods fuels this illicit market. Animals are captured or killed in vast numbers. Many species cannot reproduce fast enough to replenish their populations. They are simply taken faster than they can recover. This relentless pressure pushes vulnerable species closer to extinction. It strips ecosystems of their vital components. The illegal wildlife trade, as seen with the smuggled parrots, is a direct form of overexploitation. Invasive species are non-native plants or animals introduced to an ecosystem. They often outcompete native species for resources. They can prey on native wildlife, introduce diseases, or alter habitats. Their presence can disrupt entire food webs. Once established, invasive species are incredibly difficult to control. They can cause irreversible damage to biodiversity. The movement of goods and people across borders facilitates the spread of these invaders. It's an unintended consequence of globalization. Every smuggled animal, every exotic plant, carries the potential to become an invasive threat. The plight of these smuggled parrots is a stark reminder. It is a symptom of a much larger global crisis. The decline of wildlife populations is a warning. We are losing the very biodiversity that sustains our planet. We must act now. Do not support the illegal wildlife trade in any form. Refuse to purchase exotic pets or products derived from endangered species. Support reputable conservation organizations. Advocate for stronger environmental policies and enforcement. Educate yourself and others about these critical issues. Every action, no matter how small, contributes to a larger effort. Our planet's future and the future of its incredible wildlife depends on our collective commitment. Let us choose conservation.